Samara Weaving, Brigette Lundy-Paine, Keanu Reeves, and Alex Winter in Bill and Ted Face the Music Photo. Patti Perret, Orion Pictures, Bill S. Preston, ESQ. Alex Winter and Theodore Logan, Keanu Reeves, are not stoners, but they do seem like they could and maybe even should be, which is why Reeves felt compelled to clarify the point in a recent interview. Pot feels like such a handy explanation for the character's indomitable state of dazed good-naturedness, even when confronted with time travel and the afterlife, that the association has lingered even though the pair never actually smoke any of it. Bill and Ted are the most wholesome of a run of late 80s early 90s dirtbag duos like Beavis and Butthead and Wayne and Garth, but they're also relics of a stretch of time in which California stereotypes alone could amount to half of a premise for a film or a TV show. The joke at the center of the Bill and Ted franchise is that two genial doofuses from the San Gabriel Valley turn out to be the most important people in all of humanity, and because of that, the high points of history and metaphysics get filtered through the cultural contourlessness of a sunny SoCal suburb. It's a joke that's held up unconscionably well over the years. The pleasures of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey have endured, a few tossed off homophobic slurs aside, because of how unapologetically silly the movies are. They're about saving the world, but there's so little urgency to them that the way Bill and Ted Face the Music has stumbled into existence nearly 3 decades later comes across as entirely fitting. The new movie, from director Dean Parisot and returning screenwriters Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon, picks up with Bill and Ted still in San Dimas, where they've grown into fathers and husbands who live next door to one another on a serene cul-de-sac. They've traded young concerns about passing history class and winning a battle of the bands for middle-aged ones like shaky marriages and fears about being failures. But Bill and Ted Face the Music doesn't use the years as an excuse to swerve into grittier territory. Instead, it underscores the sweetness at the core of its main relationship. Bill and Ted are two guys who love hard rock, the word, dude, and each other's company, something that hasn't changed just because the times have. What's also remained a constant is their questionable talent. The movie opens at the most recent wedding for Missy Amy Stock-Poynton, who was first Bill's and then Ted's young stepmother, where the two men play a song that isn't remotely appropriate for the first dance, but that does involve enthusiastic theremin and throat singing. Most people set aside their longings for rock stardom after a few years of struggle, but Bill and Ted have been assured that their band, Wyld Stallyns, is destined to usher in a global utopia with their music.